Hello, everyone. I am Cameron Bertuzzi, and I'm here with Jimmy Akin. We actually have some super big news for you, super exciting stuff. First thing I'm going to share with you is that Jimmy Akin is now actually on the board of Capturing Christianity. That's pretty cool. One of the reasons actually that he's here. So Jimmy, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy to be part of the team and look forward to where Capturing Christianity is going to be going next.
We have actually a lot of things going on right now. Let me tell you about the most imminent thing. We have 5 different live streams actually scheduled for next week, which is insane. And this is the first time we've done this. Never done a call-in show before. There's a reason for this. We'll get to that in just a second. But let me just tell you a little bit more about these call-in shows. So the first one is with none other than Jimmy Akin, the guy who's here right now. We're talking about, in this one, the afterlife. Skeptics and atheists are obviously welcome, but I want you guys to come and interact with Jimmy Akin on this. This one is happening on Monday at 12 p.m. Central.
And this is going to cover actually evidence, scientific evidence that has been uncovered about the afterlife. This is one of the principal areas of study in the field of parapsychology, which I teach, and it will cover deathbed visions and near-death experiences and after-death communications and things like that. So it's got a lot of really interesting stuff. It won't just be of interest to skeptics. It'll be of interest to believers in the afterlife as well, and what science has uncovered about it.
Yeah, and call-in shows, I think it's going to unlock some hidden potential Capturing Christianity hasn't really seen before. What I typically do is just interview people, and those are always super interesting and super fun, but we've never had the opportunity to actually have you guys interact with us directly. This is going to be a completely new dynamic that I think is going to be really valuable for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to have a lot of interest in this. This one's on Tuesday, and this one is with Dr. Cy Gart, who is a retired biochemist, and he actually came to faith later in life. His story is just super fascinating. My interview with him, I think, is actually our #1 viewed video. It's got like over 2 million views on the channel, which is just crazy. He's just an awesome person, and so we're going to be taking your questions or your calls live on Tuesday, and the way to call in is going to be through Zoom. If you want to be part of this, you've got to check back. The description of every video is going to have a link just right here that you guys will be able to click. Then on Wednesday, we've got an exorcist coming on. We've got Father Vincent Lampert, who has been on the channel a few times at this point as well. And we're going to be doing anything about demons, exorcisms, spiritual realms, spiritual darkness. If you've got objections or questions, then you're going to be able to interact with him. On Thursday, we've got Dr. Bobby Conway, who is an expert on the moral argument. He actually just did his PhD on the moral argument. He's got this argument from guilt. You guys are welcome to bring them any sorts of objections you've got. And then on Friday, we're going to have Jimmy back on to talk about aliens, demons, demon aliens.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people who are asking about these subjects now. For the last few years, aliens have been in the news because the U.S. government has admitted there are things that our military has encountered that we don't know what they are. And so that's raised a big question about aliens and what implications aliens might have for the faith if it turns out they're real. On the other hand, demons are a big concern too. There's a rise in exorcisms, and we have Father Lampert coming on to do a whole show about that. But I have some thoughts about that as well. And in particular, there are some individuals who've been claiming that aliens must be demons. And so we're going to be talking about that hypothesis and the arguments both for and against it. So it should be a really interesting show, and your calls and questions and challenges are all welcome. We picked these topics because we thought they'd be really interesting and really stimulating for this week-long event. You can see where under each thumbnail it has notify me. So you can click that so that you get a notification when the live stream starts, and you can be part of the show yourself for the first time ever on Capturing Christianity. Now, there is a special reason that we're doing the week-long event. I mean, it's exciting in and of itself. We've picked big, exciting topics, and we have the new interaction mechanism via Zoom. But there's also another aspect of it. It's going to be, in addition to providing lots of very interesting content for you, it's also going to be a fundraiser. And that's something that Capturing Christianity needs right now. Recently, Cam was looking at the finances of the ministry, and it's in a place where it needs your help. One of the realities of nonprofit work, and I've been working in the nonprofit world for the last 30 years, is over time, every nonprofit has donors drop off. It's called attrition. That's the technical term for it in the fundraising world. And every single nonprofit does that. And so consequently, what they need to do to offset the attrition is make periodic appeals to people for assistance, people who, like you, see the value of the work that the ministry is doing and are willing to support it to keep it continuing. Because of various complications lately, including Cameron's new baby, which is wonderful, that hasn't happened with Capturing Christianity. And so we've gotten to a point where we've looked at the finances and we've seen that we have about 5 months of reserve supplies in the bank at current donation levels. But after 5 months, the ministry would hit $0 in the bank. And if that happened, Cameron, could you tell us what the consequences for Capturing Christianity would be?
So yeah, I mean, to be frank, like if the ministry runs out of money, then I'm just going to have to find employment elsewhere. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to.
You've got a growing family you have to feed.
Exactly. And one of the things I wanted to kind of mention for people that are just, you don't really understand like how a ministry like this works. I mean, we've got 200,000 subscribers. It seems like a channel of this size would just obviously be able to make enough funds. But with the channel size that we've got, we don't actually get enough in monthly views in order to cover the bills. Like, so for example, with the amount of views that we get per month, we only make about $2,000 in ad revenue, which is not near enough to feed a family of 5, especially with a young baby and stuff. And so a ministry like this has got to basically rely on. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to put that in context, so $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year. There's no way you can feed a family of 5 in America today on $24,000 a year. That's why Capturing Christianity really needs Patreon supporters who support consistently every month beyond what YouTube is able to do. I wanted to mention from a fundraising perspective, now we've given you the bad news, which is we've got 5 months worth of supply given the current state of affairs. But the good news is we have 5 months to fix this. And that is imminently doable. I've worked with other nonprofits that were in the same situation. In fact, I was working with a nonprofit that only had 3 months until they hit $0 in their bank account. But I've always believed that if you are direct and honest, and you don't hype it, but you also don't minimize it. If you're just honest with the donors about the actual state of affairs, when they realize it's serious, they will help you out because they see the value in what you're doing. Your channel, Cameron, is not clickbaity. It is not superficial. It is deep. It really wrestles with issues. It treats them very fairly. A lot of apologists, unfortunately, have let's put our thumb on the scales and make sure that things go our way. And you're much more open about considering ideas from multiple perspectives and being fair to people who have different views, and you don't try to slant the evidence in your favor. You may disagree with people and you have your own convictions, but you try to think objectively and deeply about these issues. And that provides a kind of apologetics content that is very rare. A lot of apologists are more about kind of tribal rally the troops stuff rather than thinking through people's perceptions and perspectives. And so you're doing a really special service, and a lot of people see the value in that. So I'm quite convinced that in the 5 months we have to fix this situation, it can definitely be done. Basically, if we got another 160 patrons at the $25 a month level, that would take care of the problem all by itself. So we've got 5 months to get to the break-even point that we need to be at, and that is something that I'm sure we can accomplish.
I want to reemphasize something that you just said, Jimmy, that I think that this is very doable. I mean, we have thousands of people that watch our videos. I mean, one of the most recent videos we did with Father Dan Reho, who's another exorcist, his video interview, 125,000 views just currently, and I anticipate it continuing to grow. And if we just had a portion of you guys, 160 patrons at the $25 amount, we could basically end the problem that we have. And then I think really what we need to do is go beyond that. But what we've thought about is ways to to give back to you guys. If you do choose to support Capturing Christianity, help us get out of this situation that we're in right now. We've got some really new, cool, exciting things that we want to give back to you. So one of those, the first thing so anybody at any level of Patreon membership that signs up, you're going to get this PDF that was actually created by a supporter of the ministry, a very big supporter of the ministry. He wrote this article, and we've got it for you in PDF form. And actually, this is an amazing resource. It's a book review of a book by Peter Williams, but what Peter Williams does in his book is he basically gives a summary of all of the different reasons to think that the Gospels are reliable. And so this article is basically, well, I can kind of scroll through and show you guys how long it is. So there's a lot of information in this PDF. Everyone is going to get this PDF that signs up at any level of membership. Doesn't matter if it's $5, $2. If you give to Capturing Christianity at all, you're going to get this in return. And so, but this is just a really, 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 I can't overemphasize this. It's like one of the best resources that's out there right now, in my opinion, on gospel reliability. It's just a super good summary. I mean, it touches on undesigned coincidences. It touches on contradictions in the Bible. It's such a good resource. And we're making this available to anyone that wants to support the ministry.
I think it's great. And we're also going to be giving it to all existing Patreon members. So if you're already a member, don't worry. You're not going to miss out. You're going to get this.
Yes.
But in addition to all of the existing and new Patreon members, if you getting this, you can also get more than this, because at the $25 level, which is kind of the level we're targeting for where we will probably need most new donors, we have another resource that we want to give you in addition to the PDF. Cameron, can you tell us about that?
Yes. So if you sign up at tier 3 on Patreon, which is the $25 amount, you're going to get this book by Pat Flynn. It's just recently published. It's one of the best resources. It's like latest up-to-date philosophy. Josh Rasmussen has praised it. It's gotten tons of praise. And something also cool about Pat Flynn, the author, is that he was actually just recently accepted into a PhD program. So this dude is like, he knows his stuff. And this book is just, I'm only in the beginning of it, but it's just already incredible. And so we're going to be giving this to every tier 3 or $25 a month patron that signs up. We're going to just send it directly to you guys. And it's actually really cool. I got in touch with Pat and I worked out a deal with the publisher so that we can send these books to you guys. But what I'm already excited about this book and the PDF and stuff, but we have even another thing that is just you guys are never going to expect what I'm about to show you guys.
Yeah. Now this is for people who are able to help the ministry even more and support at the $50 a month level. And you'll see why, because it's a really amazing thank you gift, and its actual retail value is like $350. So Cameron,
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about the third thank you gift?
Yes. So the third thank you gift is something that you literally can't get this or buy this anywhere right now. So it was actually created a guy named Matthew Collins, who is a big supporter of Capturing Christianity. I've been in talks with him for many months about this. So he basically created a brand new sculpture of Jesus based on the image that we find in the Shroud of Turin. So let me show you what this looks like. So this is actually a 12-inch model or sculpture. He's got a full life-size model. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus in on it here. This is the 12-inch version.
You can see the wounds.
This one, he worked really closely with an artist to make sure that it's as accurate as possible to the Shroud of Turin. You can actually see the wounds on the feet here, the wounds in the arms. It's made out of bronze and steel. So it's just like super, super good quality. You can hang it on your wall if you want to, or you can put it on your bookshelf.
So this is a high quality metal sculpture. It is not like cheap 3D printed plastic or something.
Yeah.
This
made
is
from
meant to
real
really
bronze,
last.
real steel. Yeah. And like literally you can't get this anywhere else. There is no other place on this planet that you can buy a 12-inch sculpture of a statue that's made from like the image that you can see on the Shroud of Turin. So this is the artist even says that it's more accurate than Luigi Mattea's. Like Luigi Mattea's, that's the one that you've probably seen before. Like you've seen it at museums, you've seen it in pictures and videos and stuff of like a sculpture of what Jesus would have looked like. This one apparently is more accurate because the wounds are actually there. You can see those and stuff. And so it's just an amazing thing we're going to be sending to Patreon tier 4, I believe, which is the $50 a month or more. And again, we're only doing that. We've got to put it there because the value of it is so high, but we want to give that to you guys just as a thank you.
And if we only had 80 new donors at the $50 a month level, that of itself would cure the problem instantly. So this is a very achievable thing. Capturing Christianity has a lot of value that you don't find in a lot of apologetics channels. This is rare. This is something special. And Cameron has a passion for it. He feels called to do this, which is why he went full time. You have the ability to keep him doing what he's called to do that is really rare and unique. You don't get this kind of quality from the vast majority of apologetics channels. Frankly, a lot of them are incredibly amateurish. But this is something that is quality material. It is objective. It looks at things from multiple perspectives. In fact, there are even some supporters of Capturing Christianity who see the value in the objective, calm, and balanced way that Cameron handles these things, that they are Patreons even though they're not Christians, even though they're atheists. You don't want to be outdone by folks who aren't even persons of faith, but who still see the value in this. This is something that we need people to act on. The good news is we have the time to act on it. The gap is not that big, but we do need you to help. You can start helping the ministry now by going to patreon.com and looking for Capturing Christianity and making your monthly pledge now. We've already told you what the thank you gifts are. So you know if you donate at any level, you're going to get the PDF. If you donate at the $25 a month level, you're going to get the book. And if you donate at the $50 a month level, you're going to get the super accurate Shroud of Turin statue. We've got some really great ways to thank you for your support, but we do need your support now. Please go today and make your pledge monthly for Capturing Christianity. And we look forward to seeing you next week and making progress, because this is fixable and we're going to fix it.
And I did want to mention that we've got some really exciting things on the horizon for Capturing Christianity. I mean, there's potential to do in-person interviews. There's potential to do documentaries. I've even got like all different sorts of ideas for a new documentary channel. The only thing that we're lacking is the resources. And because we are a smaller channel, we've got smaller number of views. That's just the only thing that's holding us back. So once we get this funding, we're going to be able to do all of this. And I think if we partner with you guys and you support the ministry right now, go to patreon.com/Capturing Christianity, or just click the link in the description. We can do all this. So thank you guys so much, and God bless you.